Okay, for this video I'll show you how to join the roots. This is the second root I made of the tooth. This was the first one. This tail is plenty long to join any gaps that happen at the end. There may be 1 or 2 stitches that have a gap. So now we're going to join the second one where my hook and working yarn is to the first one I made. This one, the first one I made, ended in a slip stitch. So to join, I count back from that slip stitch 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I insert my hook. And then I go into the next available stitch on the second root I made. So right there. And this is where I will do the first slip stitch. And then from here, you just do 5 slip stitches over, or 4 more from that, going through both. This is the first root I made, and this is the second root I made. There's the second slip stitch, 3 more to do. Last one. Then I can cut, if I can find my scissors, and cut the working yarn. Now this tail, you don't need to be long if you have the first one long, and fasten off. Now those 2 are attached. I will make the third one and show you how to attach that one. Okay, I finished the third root. Here are the other 2 that are still joined. To join this one, I will count back from this center unused stitch. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I will do my 5 stitches. Go into the next available stitch in the root you just made, and 5 slip stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I cut my yarn. This tail does not need to be long. Fasten off, and now we have 3. So I will make the 4th one, and it will go right here. Okay, I finished the last root. Here are the other 3. So this one's going to fit in here like this. So we're going to do 5 single crochet here, maybe 1 right here to close that gap if it looks like you need it, and then 5 more slip stitches. I'm sorry, not single crochet. 5 slip stitch, maybe 1 here to close the gap, 5 slip stitch to connect all of the roots. So again, I go to the center point and I count back 5 stitches. So this is the one I will go into, and then the next available stitch of the root I have just finished, and do 5 slip stitches towards the center. And then I usually kind of feel it out, like 5 more will go right here, and that will have a little hole there. So you could use one of the tails you have here, or you could throw in a quick slip stitch there to the next available spot to close that gap. Now we'll work on these 2, 5 slip stitches along here to connect them. There we go. So this long tail, you can use it to close a gap in the center if you have one. If not, you can just stuff it in there as added stuffing. And now we're going to start working on the body. So then first, round one of the body just says to make 52 stitches around. And I say you may have to adjust where you do the stitches to make it land on 52. And what I mean by that is here in the creases, you may need to do a stitch there on that slip stitch loop, or you may need to skip it. It just kind of depends on where you placed your 5 slip stitches along here, but you have to have 52 stitches in the round 1 of the body. And then you just follow the rounds from there. So to know for sure that you did do 52, I use a stitch marker. I usually use contrasting yarn, but I don't have any here, so I'm using floss right now. It works really well. You should try it if you're ever in a bind. So first, that one's coming out of there, so that's not where I would go. I would start here and single crochet around this root, this root, this root, and this root. So from here, and go back to where you began. So from here, we ignore this little T-section that happened from our slip stitches. That's done, that's taken care of. And now we're going in like a 4-leaf clover shape, which will become a circle the higher we go up. So just make sure that you create 52 single crochet stitches back to your starting point here for round 1 of the body of the tooth.